All right, I am making this video for a couple people that asked me about why we have to flip our inequality sign when we multiply or divide by a negative. So let me show you real quick. So here's an example. I'm going to pick two random numbers, one negative, one positive. I'm going to use -3 and +5. Now, if I were to write this as an inequality, I would say -3 is less than 5. Now, when it comes to an inequality, if I multiply each side by the same thing, I can do that. It's just like an equation. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to multiply each side by a -2. So -2, I'll multiply that left side by -2 and that right side by -2. Now, once I've multiplied each side by a negative, I'm going to rewrite my inequality. Remember, this is a legal move. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other, and I've multiplied both sides of my inequality by -2, so that's fine. So -2 times -3 is 6, and I will write my inequality sign that I started with, and then 5 times -2 is -10. So when I read this inequality, I have 6 is less than -10. Well, that's just not true. When I multiply each side by a -2, my greater side now is on the left and my smaller side is on the right. So again, I started out with -3 is less than 5. I multiplied each side by a negative number, by -2, and then I got 6 is less than 10. So obviously 6 is not less than 10. So I'm going to rewrite this with an inequality sign so that this is true. I know that 6 is greater than 10, so I'd write this as 6. I'll keep my colors the same. 6 is greater than -10. So this would be correct. 6 is greater than -10. That is true. And remember that once I multiply by a negative, I had to flip my sign so that my inequality was true. Let's try one more example, dividing each side by a negative number. And remember, I only flip my inequality sign when I divide by a negative. So let me use I'll use two negative numbers this time. -10 is less than -5. Okay, so I'm going to divide each side by a negative number. Remember, I only flip my inequality sign when I multiply or divide by a negative. So I'm going to divide each side by -5, since that will give me easy whole numbers. Okay, so -10 divided by -5 is +2. I'll keep my original inequality side. +2 is less than -5 divided by -5 is 1. 2 is not less than 1. 2 is greater than 1. So in order for this inequality sign to be true, I need to flip my sign. 2 is greater than 1. So these were just a couple examples so that this could illustrate that when you multiply or divide by a negative number, when you have an inequality, you have to flip the sign in order to keep your inequality true. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to message me. I'm happy to answer them and help you guys with whatever you need. And I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for listening. Okay, bye.